No, no, please, sir, please.
Yeah.
Just start.
My dear friends, I'm sorry for this bit of confusion, but well, I'm a 71 years old man, so my technological savviness is not so good as yours. Right. Today, will the time available to me will able to speak about the journey of Palle Sujana. Palle Sujana is a voluntary group, and it implies Palle means village, and Sujana is creativity. So the entire group believes in village creativity and their amount of traditional knowledge they have with harmony with the nature. And we keep walking into the villages to identify this creativity and see how those creative solutions are useful to the people across the country horizontally. So in this journey, we've learned a lot of things. So I keep sharing one by one what we learned in this journey and how creativity appealed to us, which is at the grassroots level. You know, this is a question we answered and questioned and answered by the villagers. They say, "What's the purpose of life?" They say, "Sir, we have to be happy around. I'm to be happy. Everybody has to be happy around." So if that is to be happy, what they say is for happiness, you have to reduce the pains in the way. So they try to evolve ideas which reduce their pain, ideas which solve a small problem like time waster or effort reduction or a optimal output or a high productivity, whatever is this. We call it pain generically. Now, these people start finding some solutions for those small pains they have around, thereby they increase their happiness incrementally. And for that, they are not worried about resources or other things. They said, let's try whatever we can do with available things. And they do this. And how they do this, we have learned from them, is that they do with the understanding the problem, that is, knowing the problem, and then they feel the problem. And they explain to us that if you don't feel the problem, solutions may not be perfect or near perfect. But if you know the problem very well, feel the problem, internalize the pain of the particular problem, and then find a solution, then the solution may be closer to the perfect. And that's what innovators do in the villages people. This is what we learn from them. One example of this is, you know about this walker. The walker has 4 legs and and people, if it has to go up a staircase, it can't. So they have to take the person with the help of, like you see in the screen. The walker has to be kept aside, take him up, and then take the walker up and walking. Now here you see, this man is walking along with the walker. No help is required. Staircase is easily climbable. What has been done here? The front legs are made adjustable, which can be done by the person holding the walker. And same way while coming down, you can increase the length of the front legs and walk down. So now you see what happened here. There is the knowing, feeling, doing. The feeling part has made someone to make the small modification in the walker, thereby he becomes independent and the other people can do their job, and there is a reduction of some pain, and thereby some happiness comes. So knowing, feeling, doing gives you better solutions. One more example is, my dear friends, you know about Harvester. Harvester came around early 90s to our country, and it's been extensively used, especially for wheat and rice and many others, of course. Now, this what it does is reduces the labor, and but it leaves some problems to the farmer. One is a big stub is left. Big stub, it cuts at 8 inches above the ground, so big stub is left. And secondly, the grass which is above that, grains are taken inside and the grass is thrown into the field. So the stub, the grass into the field, these two become a problem for the farmer for the next crop. So either he has to remove it. Removal is a big problem because the dry land, water is required to remove it, or degradation is not possible, or he burns it. You know the case of burning happening. And the farmer is also denied the second crop, that is, he grazes grains and the grass. The two crops a farmer gets out of farming, wheat or paddy. But in this case, harvester denies him the grass to get all this burnt because he cannot collect it. It is very costly and laborious. And another thing, third point in this present harvester is when it is cuts the grains in the field from the stack, about 2 to 3 quintals per acre of grains are dropped in the field. 2 to 3 quintals per acre. And the balance only goes into the harvester. Now, again, this is a big loss to the farmer and the nation. Imagine crores of acres and each acre loses 2 to 3 quintals. After putting all the inputs, this is quite a loss. Now, these three losses makes farmer a little unhappy while he's happy about the labor. So, and what is that? Why we not address them? Why we could not do this? Why are we waiting for someone to tell us about it? Because we have less sensitivity. We have not felt the problem. One farmer who has been living with this problem for 10 to 15 years, he said, let me make one, modify the combined harvester, and that is Mr. Surendra Prasad near Lucknow. He made this combined harvester, overcoming all the three problems we discussed, because he felt the pain and we want to reduce the pain. And now you see, when it cuts it 2 to 3 inches from the ground. See, there's no stub. It is like cutting with a manually with a sickle. And then it carries the grass and also the grains into the harvester. And the grass is given separately to the farmer. No grass is thrown into the field. And then grains come from the harvester separately. So every acre, the harvester goes out and unloads the grass. Now imagine all the three problems are solved. This has come because of, we understand, because of the knowing, feeling, doing sequence. They felt the pain of the farmer and did it. So I hope you have understood the sequence. Now, what happens in the innovation ecosystem is there are public innovations where your CSIR, SCMR, and SCAR, all those public funded IITs and NITs, and they are supposed to solve the problems of the nation, industry, and the people. But my experience of last 70 years, I've seen that they've addressed less problems of the majority of the people. Masses problems are less addressed, but they've focused on the many other technological issues. Whatever the reason, but the masses did not receive complete attention by the public innovations. The second category is private innovations, where the private companies, they invest, they do it well, but since their business is money, so they only make it for rich people, not for the masses. Thereby, again, masses are neglected. The school innovation, this is the third category we have. There are 26 crore children and teachers, and their minds, we think they're not useful to us. We think they're not creative. Somewhere we missed this wonderful, huge mass of creativity, and we don't neither ask the problem, pose the problems to them, nor seek solutions from them. So again, masses are lost. Schools are located in the villages, but you don't use school teachers and children for this. Therefore, they got helpless. They became frustrated. So they said, nobody looking into our day-to-day problems. Then they got angry, and when some people get angry, they become innovators. Some people become insurgents. And those innovators who got angry and started solving the problems, we call them grassroots innovators. And there's a fourth category in the innovation ecosystem. There are farmers, youth, children, everybody in the informal system. They innovate and they make affordable and appropriate solutions. And we will share this in the coming slides. And therefore, our journey, it is proved beyond doubt that people have minds, people have creativity. So what, they are marginal in finances, marginal in economical situation, marginal in material positions, but they have their head, they are creative. And we respect villages. In fact, we always believe in a very broader sense that villages are made by God and cities are made by humans, and we need both of them. We have to respect both of them. And village, the strengths to be utilized by city, and city strengths to be utilized by village. But we do not replace each other. They should be complementary to each other. And that's the way I think the country can grow much better. And we treat them as not sinks, as source. Because when they can create and find solutions, I'm sure we must call them source than only sinks. Now, they follow this wonderful principle of more from less for many. And this is a Gandhian principle. Professor Mashelka I've been talking about in a very in many fora. It's like a seed. You put a seed and a tree comes up. So many leaves, lakhs of leaves. Then we have thousands of flowers and fruits. More from less. A small seed can give so much, and then it is used by many humans, animals, mammals, insects, birds, whatnot, everybody. So what's happening here is, interestingly, the input is less, output is more, and that's what nature is. Whereas our technology is input is more, output is less, because our efficiency is less than 1. So the technology directive and the MLM principle of nature is additive. So this we must understand, and we must try to do as much as possible towards additive, so that the environment and the safety of future generations is available to them. Now, these grassroots innovators, what we just understood, who are they? They are rebels of the order. They ask question why it's happening. When they ask why, they are known as rebels, because तुम्हारे पास कुछ नहीं है, क्यों पूछते हो? तुम तो इंजीनियर ही क्या, तुम सॉल्व करेगा क्या? That's what the villagers say. So they are known as rebels, but that's the way they ask questions, find solutions, and most of them do to build their capacity. Now, there was a guy Pichaya in Nirmal district, Mahbubad district in Telangana. Now urea is being spread on the fields by carrying on a shoulder something back. Now he found that urea is not being placed at the proper place, and properly or uniformly not going up. Somewhere near it comes more and far it's less, and something is being wasted too. And effort is also, he found it quite troublesome. Then he found a small method to do it. A small, very small method. He took a bottle, normal water bottle, and then he cut at the bottom, put it ulta, and at the cap he put a pipe, normal pipe, which is about a meter length. And then in the bottle he put a stick with a tapered end, one end, and the tapered end closes the bottle. Now you put urea around in the bottle, and it takes the bottle to the plant and lifts the stick, and the urea falls wherever he wants. And he saved urea and also reduced his pain. What has done is he built his capacity. He made him comfortable. He made him happy. All are Samvedana-based solutions, and they're user-friendly, and they use local technologies, local resources for local problems and local customers. So there is a simplicity in them, affordability in them, appropriateness in them, and therefore they are environmental friendly too. I'll show you some uncommon solutions by farmers for farmers. I hope you are able to see. Can somebody confirm, please?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. Now, this is the cycle operated sprayer, and the movement of the spray comes just by the movement of the cycle. There is no energy separately provided for it. Just see a farmer with 1.5 acres or 1 acre, and he can make this and use it with no energy at all, and he can fit it there and of course remove it and use cycle. And in the spray also can be lowered up and down depending on the height of the plant. And in about half a day, you can completely cover the acre. Imagine how frugal it is, but is as effective as any other energy based sprayer. So that is something, and frugal, all the abilities like MLM, more from less for many, frugal, affordable, appropriate, everything is possible in this, and can be maintained by the innovator himself, right, operator himself. The second one, people have used animals or tractors. Now here, small general people with a marginal farmers can use such things using the tubes, using the used material, nothing new required, but no energy in this, and a lot of effort can be reduced. This man Sedachari made a small tractor with 6.5 horsepower, with 6.5 horsepower, and this has got a trolley behind it which can carry 6 quintals of weight, and this has a reverse gear, and it just cute one. It can do anything for the farming. He and his wife, what they did was they leased 5 acres for cotton growing, and husband and wife decided that we will cultivate this cotton farm without calling any labor. labor-less cultivation. Husband, wife, and this tractor Hanuman. They managed to do this. They managed to achieve their goal by making 13 attachments to this tractor. Some of them attached to this, some of them put in the trailer. But all the operations from plowing to the harvesting, they did it themselves, the husband and wife, Saidacharya and his wife Jyoti. And that's a kind of a challenge they have taken and did it. Now, if this is possible, for 6.5 horsepower, why we have 35 horsepower and 75 horsepower tractors? At least up to 10 acres, this is completely useful. And people 10 acres and below are 95% in this country. 95% farmers belong to that. So for 95% farmers, we have not given appropriate, but we have given what is available. It's a huge tractor. So this kind of a appropriateness and suitability, thereby increasing affordability, should be the focus of the industry or engineering. But these people have done because nobody is filling that gap, right? He sold more than 120 pieces by now, and there is, oh God, yeah. Yeah, you see, the drip pipe is a given 90% subsidy, and a lot of people are using drip pipe. But when you have to wind the drip pipe, it's quite a problem because the length is hundreds of meters, and by hand winding is difficult, and it gets cracked and it cannot be reused most of the time. So this man Ravi has used ढक्कन, kitchen के बर्तन से लेकर, kitchen के बर्तन है पूरे, बीच वाला बर्तन है, side वाला ढक्कन है, इसके साथ he made a small winder. Local resources, using local resources, and he puts the pipe on that and winds, rotates with the handle which is fixed there, and this can be made with local materials. There's nothing required, and winding is much easier than carrying it all the way from the farm. So simple, so frugal, but so effective, and that exactly the word MLM comes into this. You see, every innovation, what I stated in the beginning, few jargons like MLM, appropriateness, affordability, all are there in every innovation, because that's what we learned from them, and we have seen in every innovation all these things. Now that's the way it goes on. Yeah. Now we've seen a lot of farmers, they throw throw tomatoes in the streets or in the field because they don't get even the price of cost of production or cost of transportation sometimes. So there's a lady in Vizag. She has been troubled by the statements and saw in the newspapers. She was upset. So she kept on working on it. She found some edible leaves, जो सब्जी होते हैं, हमारे हरे सब्जी होते हैं, edible leaves का extract she made, and about for 1 liter of water she took 1 spoon of extract, mixed it, and put tomatoes plucked from the field into the dip the tomatoes and put it in the room temperature. And for 30 days the tomatoes were not gone bad. What you are seeing here, my dear friend, is of 30 days tomatoes. The shrinkage percentage is 0.1%. Were tested in KVK elementary, and such things are happening all over. Then she's a housewife, but she thought, let me do something about it. We got patented and everything is available now, and purely non-toxic, and the hygiene is maintained. And this will be useful, extended to some other things by more experiments and more research. But such a useful thing for the people, and made from local resources, no technology, no chemicals. You must have seen this video where coconut climbing has been first made by Appachar in Kerala about 20 years back. Now he climbs comfortably, and the energy required is much less than compared to doing without any device. So he imagine what he says. He says, my technology. How many of us can say my technology? I know a lot of engineers retire without creating technologies. They only copy technologies. In our generation, I mean, I am the senior generation now, so it has not been targeted or told to us that you have to find a technology. We have been told that plus do use technology and become entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is fine, but there's someone to create technologies. So in fact, I always say when I talk to college students that it is not placement, it is patents. During the 4 year of your tenure, the college term in the college, try to find solutions to the problems around you and apply for a patent. And that is should be the certificate, along with certificate, patent should be there. Placements will follow. When these people can make it, why not? Imagine what happened. This man has done this. So Venkat from Coimbatore, he said there is some problem in the Appachans because Appachan is standing and going up, and on the top he has to use only one hand for plucking coconuts. Second, other hand is held. He holds the tree. Now he said, why not make him sit and let him use two hands? Imagine this is a beautiful innovation triggered by the first innovation. Now sitting and going up, and on the top they can use two hands and they can also rotate. You see the video of this. Yeah, you see that's the way he goes up. You can carry little loads also with you. This is for the toddy, but even coconut tree, same thing can be done comfortably. And you can rotate around the tree and use two hands. Imagine what happens, economically, how happy it is. Today, 35 rupees is the coconut cost. Suppose these devices are used by coconut farmers, but if they say 5 rupees per coconut and pass it on to the customer, the coconut is available at 30 rupees. If let's say 1 crore coconuts are sold in the country every year, every day, then 5 crores is saving. And yearly 2,000 crores saving. Imagine the kind of a demand and employment it creates by a silent, unknown, low-cost innovation like this. So anything which is used by masses, they look simple, but they have a significant influence in the overall economy and silently with no investment. That's the beauty of these innovations. There's one more innovation like that. The biggest problem for the villagers or many people is the head loads, carrying load on the head. And 21st century, we're still continuing. We have no solution to that. Especially for the farmers, the roadhead is only one place, a tractor stops or a vehicle stops. From there, they have to walk 2 kilometers and a small bunch carrying loads up and down. That's very painful, and there's no way for them. There's no vehicle goes to the farms. Now, there's a boy, Lohar. What he did is he found a beautiful innovation. He developed it by using 4 plastic rods, as you see in the picture. He tied them, 2 in the rear, 2 in the front of the body, tied them to the shoulders and the waist. And at the top, a plate is put in. The plate is not touching the head. It's about an inch over the head. And on that top, he puts 80 kgs of tomatoes. 80 kgs he cannot carry otherwise, because neck and head will suffer. But with this he can carry because the load is going to the body, not to the head. So what he did is he changed the load center in the same anatomy without changing anatomy. What a beautiful innovation. By changing the load center, which we have not done for last so many years, but this man can carry double the load. If 10 crore people carry double the load every day with a silent and simple innovations like this, tell me friends, is the productivity goes up or not? Or who stops the increase in the productivity? Or they will have rest. If they do 2 trips work in 1 trip, they have time to rest. And their head and neck doesn't get pain. So lots of advantages of a simple innovation, health, the productivity, happiness, everything comes up. But I would like you to look at the simplicity of innovation. It's like a hand tool. One can improve on this as long as don't use energy and make it unaffordable. Now, in the entire rain-fed areas, you find a lot of water trapped in low points, and the water gets evaporated because there's no way to water get out, and most of the people around cannot take the water because electricity is not available there, diesel cannot be taken or costly affair. But if you make pedal pumps, what you have seen here, which can draw water from 25 feet below with a 2-inch pipe, and by pressing, you can bring the water from all those water can be used which are trapped. Instead of evaporating it to the sun, they can be used, and this pump can be carried there in the morning. After irrigation, then bring it back home. A portable pump for taking trapped water. Maybe if we use a large numbers of these pumps in the country, another 100 TMCs or 1000 TMCs will be utilized, other than sending it to the clouds again through sun. Now that's another very simple piece. Anybody can make it. Decentralized manufacture, local technologies. This is another beautiful piece made by a farmer. Look at this, made by a farmer, not by industry, my dear friends. It has two wheels and there is a tow bar. The tow bar, I'm showing you the pointer, tow bar, which can be pulled by two animals or two people at the max. And field is ready for sowing, for the transplantation of paddy, let's say. So instead of putting water, they keep it dry and they put seeds in these boxes and they pull it. When they pull it, there are blue plows here. They make furrows, 7 furrows they make it when 2 people pull it. And in that furrow, the seeds will drop as per the spacing given. All this is done because the wheels are moving. The energy is coming from the moving wheels. No other power is available. And having done that, there are black plates here which will close the furrows. So the furrowing, seeding, and the closing has been done. In addition to it, if you wish to spray, we decide whatever is there between the rows, there is a column available, there's a tank available. From these nozzles, you can spray between the rows. But if you wish to do it, that's another advantage we have. Imagine 2 people comfortably can do 1 hectare a day. 1 hectare a day they can do it. That's the advantage of it. Right. So by doing so, the transplantation of entire paddy, like you make a nursery, then you pull it up, take it there, plantation. About 4,000 rupees per acre can be saved by putting seeds. And you may be asked a question: does the seeds give higher productivity? Yes, it has been seen. And in northern Andhra Pradesh, in the tribal area, agency area, 500 acres have been done with this machine, this device, and the output has been excellent. And the cost as input cost comes down, thereby farmer feels a bit happier. Now this is pole climbing by Tirupati Rao, and it's a beautiful piece he made 1.5 years, almost 2 years back. 2 years back, and it won national award, international award, everything because of simplicity and tremendous utility and safety. Everything is available. You can put a harness if you wish to, and it's like a hand tool. Carry it. It doesn't weigh more than 4 kgs, 4-5 kgs. We got it tested. It is 500 kgs is a breaking strength for each device on each foot. That's it. Everything is perfect, made by this boy. And it just took a 1 rod and bent it in Z shape and put a slipper on that, and that's it, my dear friends. The cement pipes are of 11 types, but this, because of the angle he made, any size can come, any size can fit universally. One device for all types of cement pots. Even he made for round pole also. He has got a best prize in Asian Awards in Philippines. First prize for the entire class of innovation. And he's also a great entrepreneur. You're talking about entrepreneurship too. The FDP is about it. He sold 1.5 crore worth in 14 months, manufacturing in front of his house in a hut, using his people, Akka, Baba, brother, sister, Bhabi, Jijaji, put everybody family there and sold it. And sold by word of mouth, the government, private, everybody comes and buys from. And people start copying. He said, please copy. He used to give suggestions. Because the demand is so huge, he's not worried who does what. If somebody wants in UP, why should it go from Andhra Pradesh, Tirala district, Tirala village? You can go there. In fact, he put whole thing on the net, details enter how to manufacture everything. Though he has a patent, he said, please use it wherever you want. I will not claim anything. So there's open-heartedness too with these people, because their idea is to reduce the pain, not only making money. Now this is talking about a round pole. He made it. See, the same thing, round pole. This can be used for even coconut trees also, but the different variety. And going up is easy. You can carry something, but use the steel than other materials used in other ones. But the purpose and the happiness is same. Now this is very interesting. In a banana, all these are rural creativities. In banana fields, The weeding has to be done, and it costs almost 5,000 rupees per one weeding per acre. It has to be almost 5 weedings weeding are to be done. Now this man says everybody has a motorcycle. He asked his wife to hold the weeder and very loosely tied it, and about 500 rupees, 100 rupees per acre he can do it. And that's it. So simple, but it's not a product. It's a idea, and this idea can go to all the banana growing farmers, and they do it or they improve upon it. What a simple idea. You know, poverty comes because of higher input cost, my dear friends. Input cost can be reduced. Farmer is not really disturbed about the yield or the price of the yield. But if the input costs are very high, like 25,000-30,000 rupees per acre, then he's worried about the output, worried about the rate, worried about all those things. So I think first thing we can do is by using this amazing grassroots innovations to reduce input cost. One of the problem is daily crores of people work in the sun in our country, in our fields. Inevitable, they have to work. And by the time evening they get tired, they get stressed physically, mentally. And when they go home, so many families do not spend night happily at home. 30 crore people's families in the night are unhappy because of the stress they bring in, the physical stress, mental stress bring home. Now this boy Shanmukha Rao, he thought, let me reduce the strain of stress people. So he made a small shade for farm workers, 5 feet by 10 feet shade. It can be erected in 10 minutes, dismantled in 10 minutes. And both the vertical poles have two wheels, both sides. 2 wheels this side, 2 wheels other side. You erect it, work under that, and then push it along with you. It can be done in dry, it can be done in wet fields. All this he tried out, and such a happiness they have. At the end of the day, what this simple innovation achieving is peace in 30 crore homes in the night. That when the ladies go home or the laborers go home, they're not stressed. Grassroots innovations not only gives you what you see, but gives you much more than what you see. If the trillion economy is one option of one objective, but peace in 30 crore families also can be a very good objective. And that's what grassroots innovations provide. So in all these innovations, my dear friends, you have seen emphasis on people. They see the people, understand the problem, understand the pain of the people, then select technology. It's not that I have a technology, therefore I solve the problems. No, that's the beauty we have learned from these people in our journey. And the technology, suitable technology they choose so that they can decentralize, they can make it themselves, they can use it easily, they can maintain it easily, they can customize it easily. Or they can repair and maybe a new one, they can make it easily. So when the emphasis on people and their pains, technology becomes a tool, not the ultimate. But today the trend I have seen is that since I have a technology, I'll push it, it will help them. You believe it. But it's so or not, that's a pointed issue. But grassroots innovations and innovators never gave technology emphasis. There's one go. You have seen hyacinth in the lakes. We call craspies in the botanical language. All lakes are full, everywhere. Canals are full. Even Dal Lake was full some time back. I don't know what is state now. Now one fisherman Narsimha, he had a problem of growing fishes in the village tank because a lot of this hyacinth was growing because sewage was coming from nearby city. So he said, let me make a small machine. He made a shore making machine, shore position machine. And that works when you push the hyacinth, which is floating, you push it onto the belt. That takes the hyacinth and drops in a cutter. And this cutter cuts into small pieces, thereby the water in it goes away and the volume also reduces, 80% volume and weight reduces. Pieces go and they get dried up in 3 days time. In the hot sun, they get dried up in 3 days time. And lot of input, this can be used for many industry. So simply he did it, and the USP is that, and you clean the lake so beautifully. You see the lake which you have seen, this lake, he made it so beautifully. Narsimha is innovator. Now what the USP was that the rate of growth of hyacinth is almost double in 8 to 10 days. He has to beat the rate of growth of hyacinth, otherwise water can never be seen. If you use JCBs, if you use humans, it is not easy to beat the rate. And rate depends on the area also. Bigger the area, more it grows. So what he did was, he made a machine which beats the rate of growth of hyacinth. And he makes a machine customized to each lake. How much every day is growing? Okay, 10 tons coming up. So I must remove at least 11 tons a day. Therefore, 1 ton is cleared. So that's the way he makes it. That was the beauty. And most of the any mechanical machines, chemical, none of them work as good. It's very cheap methods. He cleaned many things in Hyderabad and nearby, but more to order. He also transported one to Kenya. Now he's got orders from Africa. And Kenya, it was selected the Prime Minister office to be gifted from the people of India to people of Kenya, one machine. And now seeing that many orders are coming up. But India, it is not being used much yet because they wanted to keep it there. And I don't know what they want to do. All the government is not keen to remove the hyacinth. We have amazing herbal solutions. You all know, but I want to quote some of them. There's a lady in Tirupati who had a gangrene and she had a diabetic, and allopathy at some stage said, no, if you don't amputate it, you will be suffering more. So that was the decision. So one of the innovators, Chandrasekhar, he said, okay, Tali, you got to cut it. So use this oil for some time, and then you see, then again go for amputation. In about 4 weeks' time, you see the improvements. A beautiful healing has taken place. Now, this particular oil has the ability to build a firewall between the diabetes effect on the healing. So natural healing takes place. That's the way it doesn't have any healing power. It only stops diabetic effect. Natural healing is done, and amazing lot of things are done. It also has many other advantages like it burns or can be taken off, wounds can be taken off, which you have seen. Pains reduce, immediate relief for the pains, not removal, immediate relief for the pains. Sportsmen, old people, anybody. And lastly, it can be used as anti-mosquito repellent. Just apply it to the exposed portions. 8 hours, mosquitoes don't come. So why am I saying this? One example, but we have so many like this where easily available in the nature, and that can be made to reduce the pains of the people by making such xylums and distributing them through entrepreneurship. So creativity exists, knowledge exists, and we have to just identify it, harness it, and move on to give the happiness. Rajanna in Anantapur district, mastitis, he made such a wonderful herbal medicine, my dear friends. We got it tested from ICMR and ICAR, and finally Government of India has given best prize, President of India award to him, 3 lakhs rupees, and spent almost crore rupees to patent his in the entire world. Amazing. That's it. And it's just 3 days it goes off. Take the powder, which shelf life is about 2 years, and that powder you keep it with you whenever the mastitis comes or udder swelling comes up. Use warm water to apply warm water with the powder. Apply it externally for 2 days, and 4th day you can take the milk. But in case it is too big, go for 1 or 2 days extra. But there's no pain to the animal, no pain to the human being. Those 4-5 days you're not supposed to milk. That's all. Amazing. But we try to spread it. But even biodiversity also given us permission, biodiversity board. But a lot of RVC people and the dairy people and the pharma companies, they gang up, and somehow their cartels do not allow this to come up. But we have to understand what is required for the animals, what requires the people, and how easily, cheaply available the best solutions. Any injections given to the mastitis goes into the milk, and children get it. The antibiotics are used more for animals than the human beings. And during antibiotic effect, the milk is taken and the milk is sold. And we don't know how many antibiotics are coming into us because traceability is not there, testing is not, all things are happening. But such wonderful solutions will give you health and happiness both. You must have seen this Manchuk Bhai made a Michi Cool, absolutely fantastic. It's also been sold across the world. He made many of them. You need just water, 1 liter of water every day. 30 days, vegetables don't go bad. 3 days, milk won't go bad. Nothing else is required except a liter of water. It's amazing. Nano. It's all made with potter's mold. Therefore, the nanopores are the one which takes away the heat energy from inside. Now, so this is a scene you have seen in the villages where there's one water pump, one presses, one uses, and people in the line. And then sometimes they miss the class. So one girl, Lalita, missed the class and got late into the class even without using the water because she long line was there. And she punished her. The teacher punished her. And the girl went home in the evening and cried in front of parents that I've been humiliated by my teacher for all because the line was there, I could not do it. The parents were upset. They said, why? Why my child was punished for none of our fault? So they internalize the pain, and that's known as samvedana, and that's what feeling. And once it's done, the father was unhappy. Why should it happen? So he took a leave. Is a class for employee in the PWD of Jharkhand. This is where we have seen during our Shodha Yatra. He went to the principal and asked him, sir, I will do something to help the children not to go through such thing. He said, what? Explain. Principal was very good. He says, go ahead. And what he made is this, my dear friends. From 1:1, it became 1:8. And it's a tap. There's no wastage. There's a wastage is there. What a beautiful innovation. When you feel samvedana, as I told you, knowing, feeling, doing, the solution is almost perfect. Anybody can do this, but what a great thought. For as engineer, I feel it's amazing innovation. Anybody simple, decentralized, and low cost, but very 1:1 to 1:7 is the amount of leverage he got it. Excellent example of MLM, more from less for many. Pandurang lives in a village. He has a motorcycle, like many others. Technology, which is supposed to be running the roads, motorcycle is sent to villages. There are punctures. This is not designed to run on the cross country, and the punctures will trouble them because they push it to the place where it is there, and by the time tube is lost. So every month they spend about 160 200 rupees and the pain of pushing. And Pandurang had to do that with his wife and child for 14 kilometers one evening. Was scared, the whole family was scared, but they came safe. Then he said, why the hell is happening this? What is our mistake? Then let me reduce the pain of my people. He worked for 8 years, prepared some solution. And the solution opens the nozzle of the new tube, puts 250 cc of the solution he made, and then closes the nozzle, fills the tube in the tire normally, and fills the air normally. And my dear friends, nothing goes 3 years. 3 years, it doesn't get punctured. Because whenever it holes comes up, the liquid becomes rubber instantly, thereby the loss of air is less. So he puts the nails like this and nothing comes out of it, he pulls them out. But the video is such, he's got a President of India award and he has sold, he's selling in 7 states and only rural areas, and he's hiring 10 MBAs, entrepreneurship and happiness to people. 3 years, imagine, 250 rupees one tube, 2 tubes 500, 3 years, no pain, no money required. And whereas in a normal circumstances, about 1 tube per month, average is what you spend besides the pain. So that's the beauty of grassroots innovations. Now, we have animals when they not used for milching or drudgery. What will we call them? I think that's not very fair on our part. We can let them die the way we all die when the time comes, and that can be done when we use the rejects, the dung and urine. Almost 10 kg per day dung comes up. But what to do is not known to the people. Now somebody made a pot maker, beautiful pot maker, and that too manually, no energy required. And the pot is dried up after molding it, is dried up. Pedicula is like it dries up in 3-4 days. Then put mud into it and put a plant. And when the plant is ready, put the whole thing into the earth. There's nothing to take it off like a normal thing. What a beautiful thing. As a 10 kg per day means at most 1 pot you can make every day, and that much money can give it to it. Similarly, we can make logs from the dung, which can be used for cremation. Generally, if you are aware, my dear friends, cremation takes about 5 to 6 quintals of wood. Irrespective of size of the body, they spend so much. And daily about 45,000 cremations average take place in the country. The amount of wood required is so much. Can we use this dung of the old animals? It's not cow dung, any dung is okay, but cow dung is, in our parlance, is better. And cut these logs. Here the power is required because you compress the whole thing. It can be a small industry to make it. And then they dried up and use it. And caloric value is as good as logs, or you can use more. In a village, 1 month, 1 man, 1 person dies, 12 people die, that much amount can be made by them and keep it, and they can also make it to nearby towns and cities where the death rate is more. So number of deaths are more. So this can be small industry, but what a great advantage to the environment, to the people, and the cost wise also is very cheap. And there's so many, like home kit tikki bante hain. We got about 13 products which can be made from dung. There's one couple in Hyderabad, they make 13 products out of it. And this can be a very good industry, and entrepreneurs can come up, and especially given to the villages where they can make additional money. So what they do is providing affordable excellence. Today we say that excellence means what? More money, higher quality, excellence. But that linear relation should be broken, and we try to give excellence with affordability. And then only equality comes, equity comes. To people, poor people who cannot afford, we cannot tell them that you live with less excellence. And that's not fair to them. So therefore, the challenge to engineers, challenge to the people who market these things, that give them an affordable excellence. Not only affordable, but affordable excellence. Then the productivity increases, happiness increases, and the country as such goes equitably. We have dishwashers. Oh, sorry. See, the dishwasher is very costly. We can't buy it, but Indians do. Where is my dishwasher? Right. Okay. Now, this is a dishwasher where two sensor-based points are there. They rotate the moment you take a dish there. A brush can be put there, and the water and soap water comes from the white pipe which is there. And the lady moves around, then takes it to the next where fresh water tap is there. It's all sensor-based. This whole thing can be fitted in your kitchen with a water connection and power connection, single phase connection. And this whole thing costs 5,000 rupees. Just 5,000 rupees. Brushes can be of various types. You can have bottle cleaning or a metallic or plastic, and you can have. So what's with our greasy cooking, the rubbing by the women taking a long time is reduced. Just rinsing is what is to pushing and rinsing is to be done. So some effort is saved, especially middle class families. Their husband and wife both work. It's quite a problem for them to clean the vessels. This is one idea, and there's a lot of demand it has, and we're selling a lot here in this place. Somebody can make better than this, but all those government making houses, central government, state governments, middle class people, low class people, they must fit this and give it to them. That's kind of a 5,000 rupees, nothing for them. And the lady is so happy, you see the way he's talking about it. We have cotton wick machines. Just put the cotton there, and the wicks come up. Today we आरती सब देते हैं, भगवान को बहुत सेवा करते हैं, प्रार्थना करते हैं, मगर विग बनाना नहीं आता हमें. तो उसके लिए one boy in Gujarat has made a small machine, 14,000 rupees. You can make it for yourself. You can also sell to the near temple or near friends. You can sell it. So many things like that. When we create a waste, there are some people who collect the waste. Then somebody segregates the waste. Somebody retrieves the waste. Somebody recycles the waste, somebody destroys the waste. So there's a big chain after creation of waste. And that is the informal sector. It's not very formalized. And lots of things are happening, and nobody looking at technologies required for those activities or make them efficient in their activity. Nobody looking at it. There's no lab meant for such kind of waste disposal. We have used cables. We did a small survey in one Vijayawada town. 70 tons of used cables come within in a year, 70 tons. And this is a source of income for somebody, because they take these cables from the waste segregators, buy from them, burn the plastic, and use the metal and sell it as a livelihood. Imagine burning 70 tons of cables in one town, plastic. What kind of a damage we are doing to the people, nature, and the water, everything. But what his livelihood is that we have not addressed that point. So Abdul Jalil, what he did is he found that a small mechanic in Vijayawada Auto Nagar, he saw neighbor troubled by this livelihood activity. So he made a small machine, very small machine, run with electricity, single phase. And there he puts the plastic cable and he shears it. The machine cuts it and he shears it with hand. Now imagine burning plastic to cold removal of plastic. Here the plastic is available, metal is available. No environment degradation. Amazing advantages. When you look at a pain, then you find a solution. So my dear friends, we have to look at the pains around us. Then we'll be able to do it. Jalil could do that. And if this is adopted all over the country, imagine what kind of a environment advantages we all get and our generations to get. This is a solar sprayer, as you see, instead of using with hand, you must have seen already. Now electric sprayers have come up with the solar sprayer where the noise is less, weight is less, then health is good, because there's no vibrations, no smoke, and no maintenance cost. And in one season you can get the money back comfortably. Look at the weeder. Weeders have come mostly when the labor shortages arisen because of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Everybody was going, and the normal farmers, small farm, marginal farmers were not getting labor. Mahipal made this so simple. Everything is open. Just see how it works. It works minimum 28 to 30 inches width in the row width. Otherwise, it doesn't. But dry crops, cotton, and other things. And it's so simple. And at the age of 65, I did it half an acre. I had no pain in my shoulders. My personal experience, I'm saying it. Everything is open. And he has got a President of India award for this in 2013. Then he sold almost more than 2,000 pieces across the country. And he's also got National Best Entrepreneur Award by Ministry of Small Industries. So being a grassroots innovator, everything is in the village. He set up in the village and did it. So you see the creativity, utility by the people, and the entrepreneurship, the win-win situation aimed for the environment. So the one thing, if you see this machine, there is no post-sale activity. There is no servicing center required. There is no warranty required. Everything is available nearby. Warranty, of course, you can give it for 6 months or 1 year, but zero post-sale activity. Today, I buy a cell phone, I'm slave to the company. I cannot do anything. I become a technological slave. So I got independence from colonialism. Now, whereas these people, what they make, all this thing we have seen is zero post-sale activity, and thereby there's independence given to them along with equipment. There's an interesting person, Pulla Reddy. He had 2 acres of land. We are at 12:45. Okay. I got time up to 1:10, right? Organizers. Hello. Hello. Are you hearing?
Please carry on, sir. Please carry on, sir. Sir.
Time is my time.
Please carry on, sir. Up to 1. No problem, sir. Please carry on.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So Pulla Reddy is a farmer. He had 2 acres of land and he had 1 bore well, but that was not sufficient to irrigate. And he had to have 2 acres because his living was becoming difficult. So what the poor guy can do? So he went for another bore in his field, 1 more bore, 25 feet, 40 feet away. And then the water came up, same level, but he has to have another motor, which is very costly, and he could not have the money. And even the transformer people said, we do not have electricity because transformer is saturated already. Now he was stuck. But he has to do, when he pushed a corner, he found a solution. He took a pipe, SDP pipe of about 160 feet length, with water, and one end he put it in the water of the new bore well and opened the mouth. And second end he put it in the old bore well where the pump is there, and connected both the waters through this pipe, external pipe going over the line. And both the ends are in the water of both the bore wells. Having done that, he started the bore, the pump he has in the first bore, old bore, and surprisingly he saw that water from both the bore wells have come and irrigated 2 acres. Now, how it happened, you can discuss separately, but my dear friends, it is functionally, and farmer needs functionality, farmer needs performance, farmer needs results, and he did it, and he managed to cultivate acres. Now he thought of, we found it, and he said, beautiful idea, will you share with people? He said, yes, sir. And we put that in the newspapers everywhere, and then he's almost held 172 farmers in Andhra and Telangana, and there he connected bore wells which are separated by 150 feet, up to 150 feet is separated, not 40. That distance also you could connect and with one bore, one motor, two bore wells could be operated. Imagine the savings. Now, after some time, he got upset. He says, "Sir, how can I go everywhere?" And one day he sat down and wrote the whole procedure and gave it to us. We put it in the local newspapers, all newspapers, and everybody is doing on their own. And if they have a problem, they call him up. Phone. Open source for this. We do not know how many people have benefited, but amazing thing. It saves a lot of effort. You can see it. No innovation came from any of the technology institutes, such kind of suggestions. Vikram Rathod is a tribal. So he had a land, he had water, but he doesn't know, he didn't have a motor or diesel. So he found a cycle. He's not Vikram Rathod, he's somebody else. He made a cycle to pump water from 25 feet down. And his wife cycled it, and 1.5 acres of cotton they grew in the tribal village, Indravalli. And you know, friends, he has got the President of India award through National Innovation Foundation, and he's also first able to get a patent for this. But look at the advantage. It is a portable to some extent compared to other thing, motors and other thing. Installation is not much required. So a poor man's device and made by a poor man. Look at this, the windmill. Kindly see this windmill, and I want you to watch it and tell me, guess yourself or write in the chat. What are the materials used and what is the uniqueness of this windmill? It's made in the village by using the local materials by a farmer and a carpenter, perhaps, or a blacksmith.
I don't get the picture.
We are going slow because we want you to understand. See, it is a working windmill. The uniqueness is that it is all made with the bamboos, nails, and sheets. It is very difficult for us to imagine in the dreams that a working windmill can be made with those items. Some of them can be reusable. The machine goes bad, they can make a new one. It doesn't cost much. But what farmer wants is water, not electricity. But in our windmill, the moment I call it when I say windmill, your imagination is a huge mast windmill, great mast and aerodynamic blades extending to almost 10 meters each, and then it produces power and transfer the power with a not stuck. It's going on. Don't worry. Is it okay now?
No, sir.
Is it okay now? I can see moving around. Okay, how is it now? You can see the new slide?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir, not visible.
Okay. But you can see the presentation?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll upload again, right? Shall I do that?
Thank you, sir. Do it, please.
Shall I? I'm doing it again, uploading it. Please
Now
confirm
it's
you can see. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. So basically, this windmill we have seen, it's all made by local materials. And this one, as I said, farmer needs water, not power. You know, we have taken this from Guwahati to Gujarat, Kutch. And Kutch, you know, not now, 10 years back, National Innovation Foundation. And Kutch, there's lots of salt is made, and they were using diesel pumps. And diesel, carry engines, carry spare parts was a big problem for them. So much of noise, smoke. When they when they saw this technology, they started using technology there, and the pumping of salt water was done by windmills. Enough wind was available. So there is a possibility of a horizontal dissemination of such wonderful innovations. But we have to first identify them, and then of course take it to the place where they need. Saidullah, at the age of 65. And he says my technology. Now this man is from Champaran, Bihar, northern Bihar. He has to go for work every day crossing a canal. But the one boat, private boat used to come, he wants, he doesn't come, and this man was totally controlled by the boat. He waited 40 years for somebody to do better than what a boatman does. A bridge is made, a bus is made, a new boat comes up. But my dear friend, nothing came up to that village. So Saidullah got upset, he got angry, he became innovator. And he made amphibious cycle. And he's one man who got a patent for this and Rashtrapati Award for this, and many things can be done there. But imagine, age is not a barrier for innovation. And have you ever thought of making a cycle amphibian? 3.5 kgs of steel, 4 boxes. That's all, my dear friends. And crude welding. I made innovation cycle amphibian. Amazing. I mean, this kind of a creativity comes. Yeah. So there is one more very interesting innovation, the weaving for the weavers. In a Pochampalli tradition, if you are aware, which is part of Telangana, tradition of Pochampalli tradition of sari, the Ikka saris they make it. For them, the first operation before the thread gets onto the loom is known as the ASU process. You see in this video on the left top, you find one lady sitting there and using her hand and using the silk thread is wound around the pins, and this she has to do 9,000 times. 9,000 times she has to do to make the shape by winding 12.5 kilometers of silk thread, which is the weft of the sari. And that every day she has to do for 2 saris. Then only this whole thing, after a few processes, goes to the loom for actual weaving. The family's survival depends on this first process, or ASU process. Imagine every day 9,000 times or 18,000 times a lady moves her hand across 4 feet. Besides doing the course of the house, cooking, cleaning, and washing everything, what kind of a life she has? And the pain in the shoulder was very much. Entire community was suffering, but there no go. Nobody worried about it. But you see the bottom left, you find the lady Lakshmi. Her son Mallesham, he saw her mother suffering with the shoulder pain. All the while, at the age of 14, he was dropped out of school, made to sit on the loom. There he do something for mother, and the ladies are not there in the village. The men cannot do the weaving. Very, very strange. And the capacity of the entire Pochampalli tradition was linked to number of women making ASU. That's a kind of a constraint was there. So he worked 7 years with the 6th class dropout. He made a machine which is on the right side and which works without a person. Put the thread, it does exactly what a lady does in 6 hours and 1.5 hours time. This is the one which when it is given to the villagers, he did for sake of his mother, and everybody was so happy. And he's given so many machines to the people, still more to be given. There's a government and some support has to come. Weavers cannot buy. But because of this, my dear friends, the tradition of Pochampalli, which was dying in late 90s, because all the girls, they said, we go to school, we don't sit at home and do it. They rebelled. Then from 10,000 looms, they came to 100 looms in 1998-99. All master craftsmen went away. And there's a time ASU machine came, which is on the right side, where no people are required. Put the thread, it does on its own with single phase, 2 rupees per sari. That's the cost of electricity. And the entire Pojapal revived. Now today they are flourishing with about 11,000 looms and they're selling all over the world. Imagine one innovation made to reduce the pain of his mother by an unknown guy, a dropout. He doesn't know anything and made so many things. He made electronic later. He got a patent, he got a President of India award, and he got whatnot. He was a guest of, look at the awards he got it. He got the, he was a guest of President of India in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. 15 days he stayed there. He was given Padma Shri later, and Prime Minister quoted him in various speeches of even Indian National Science Congress. He quoted there. Then of course he was the biopic has been made named Mallesham. You can go to Netflix and see Mallesham or Amazon. The picture is a beautiful done picture by somebody from Telugu land. So that is only later, but the community benefited so much by small pain, observation of pain and finding a solution. People laughed at him. That 7 years journey was very tough for him, but he said, no, I have to do it, otherwise the community is suffering. So that's a kind of pain understanding, samvedana, or the feeling made him innovate. Now you have seen so many innovations. We have so many, but some of them I have shown. Each is solving a problem, reducing somebody's pain, and thereby bringing happiness, productivity, time saving, or effort saving. That you agree. And all are follow the MLM principle, from less for many. They're all affordable excellence. They're all made locally with resources or easily maintainable. Post-sale service is zero. And all of them support the SDG. Sustainable Development Goals is the goal of every sovereign country, as signed by United Nations Charter. And all the 7 of them are there in every innovation which you have seen. You can check up what innovation you've seen. Everything is there, and that is the beauty and significance of the innovations. I hope I made my point to you. What we do now, a little bit before I close, a little bit I tell about what we have been doing. The Honeybee Network, which is started by Professor Anil K. Gupta, who was a professor of IIM, retired recently. It's a virtual and voluntary. What we have worked part of that in Palle Sujana in Andhra and Telangana. We bring nameless, faceless people like Mallesham or Mahipal Chari, all those people we have heard, give them a name by recognition, connecting them to the formal system, getting them awards, getting them patents, bringing the product into the market by some business support and mentor. Therefore, on the right side, you find a person gets recognition. Recognition not through money, not through education, not through power, but through his knowledge of solving problems, knowledge and solving problems of society. So what we do is we start scouting, which is the most difficult problem. We also believe that knowledge has no legs, we have legs. So we walk to the knowledge. That's why we call Shodayatra, which I tell you a few minutes later. The scouting is the one where we go to village, identify these people. It's not easy, most difficult thing, but they've never disappointed us. Every village has so many innovations. Then we document them for many reasons. Documentation is important because formal system doesn't understand verbally. They're documented so they understand, they give a patent, they give an award, they give funding. So that's important, this is done. But this is challenging because you ask questions, innovators don't have answers. You have to prepare answers so that the truth is put to the formal system. Now, similar then to the prototyping, value addition, all other nurturing activities we do. And finally, patenting and awards. All these policy matters we do voluntarily. And we do a dissemination we do through not only scouting, we do dissemination through magazine. We have it. Then we go for yatras. Then we have IDCs here where farmers come every day. Some students, farmers, government, social activists come and see the innovations. We conduct exhibitions at any level. Whoever calls us, we will go with innovation. Interact with college faculty and students because we want to involve them, make them sensitized to the villages so that they can. Problems can be identified and solved, or existing solutions can be improved, re-engineered. So as project or as the contribution society comes up. And communicating with the system, like today I'm communicating to all of you thanks to MG University. We communicating the knowledge what we scouted. So we done, when you say innovations, what is 200 innovations? It is 200 problems solved. If the thousand problems solved, but we are listed separately, what problem these have solved. So we have solutions ready. Don't reinvent them again. So suppose we have a list of problems and solve one by one, maybe after some time, many problems will be solved. And so easily solved. You see the innovations so far I've shown. So I think to really help the villagers, rural areas, to identify their problems first and know them, feel them, then find solution, then they become innovations. And then horizontally disseminate them from village to village or lab to land or land to lab, whatever it is there, but in affordable and excellence, no post-sale service. So much we have done. I've just put it, in fact, June to September, the sale of grassroots innovators in Andhra and Telangana is 3 crores because all other general markets are closed. So they all came to him and found very effectively. First time we had in 1 quarter so much of sale, otherwise 5 to 6 crores per year our innovators were selling in the last 3-4 years. This kind of awards we got is amazing, all these people. Why I listed is that the significance of grassroots innovation is so much that when the formal system knows about it, they respect it. So we have a responsibility to identify it and bring it to the social system. And having understood what is there in the village, you add to it, supplement it, don't replace it. Today we are replacing, saying that they know nothing. गांव में कुछ नहीं है, हम local knowledge को निकाल रहे हैं. So what we need to do is we have to identify the local knowledge and build upon that, strengthen their strengths, and that's the way it comes up only when you identify them. We have identified all these things into 3 categories: ready for sale, straight away we can sell it, the manufacture is on. Entrepreneurship is there, that validator model is ready, but manufacturing capability is not there. Ready for prototype is, proof of concept is there, but validator model is not there. This is kind of 3 stages we take on and nurture them from bottom to the top. And we have so many RFS, 88 items we have so far. All are being sold in various, Andhra, Telangana, even some of them go beyond the states. And RFE equipment. So the impact has been very good because more than 5 to 6 lakh families or farmers or village people are using these innovations in Andhra, Telangana, because the efforts of Palestinian volunteers, scouting, and all the process we did. And there is some kind of happiness is there. It reduces input. Local employment comes up because the manufacturing is in the villages. Wealth distribution takes place because you buy from the local man, he gets money, you give money to him and you get benefit. All inclusiveness in terms of actual inclusiveness is what this activity is bringing. It has to be spread more. I was talking about Shodha Yatra. It's a yatra to an unknown area, unknown people, unknown agenda, unknown path. And we make ourselves zero on the very first day and try to learn. And when I go to villages, we have 4 gurus: nature, people, peers, and within. And at the end of the day, we keep learning so much from them that suddenly we get totally taken off. What kind of a knowledge they have, whatever. But for that you have to be totally delete your unlearn yourself and go there. And we have done amazing 34 yatras we have done. And and this is not meant for students, everybody. We get scientists, we get IAS officers, we get bank officers, we get seniors, mothers, children, fathers, husbands, wives, everybody comes up. It's a beautiful combination of people to learn from each other and this. And having known what is the strength of the villagers, then you do what you want to do. You have known yourself, not because somebody told you or a camera or a video told you, a paper told you. Do it yourself just for 3 days. Now, Palestinian, what it does is something, it is not an organization, it's a group. And we have no roles, no rules, no mission, no objective, no accountability, no task, nothing. No targets, no disappointments. And we have no failures, only success. And last 15 years, we could do so much. We have seen some impact we have shown you, but a lot we have done. The volunteers have been extremely good. Society has been very friendly, very supportive. Every segment of society, from government to the private organizations, have been very supportive, and they have understood what we are doing, and they came forward very generously and helped us. And it's an amazing experience. Journey of Palestinian has been great. This is what I wanted to share today. But what you can do for grassroots innovations is that you can do a lot. In all this, you can do it. You can speak to them, you can call them, you can identify them, you can come for Shodha Yatras, you can organize display of innovation. You know, when innovations are displayed in the colleges, we used to kill 30, 40 innovators. The students come and, you know, generally we see innovations, we don't see innovators. Now here they see innovators. When they see innovators, suddenly the myth is broken. Oh God, this is the one who solved the problem. He solved the problem. The problem to solution explains everything. And that's the way the myth is broken, and the student gets inspired. Oh God, I also can solve the problems if that is so easy. That's what happened in one college, got 5 patents. After that, the children went to village, identified problem, and about a year and a half time, they made it. College supported them. So as I said, if the patents are important, then they have to see the problems first and see the innovators first. Talk to them, get inspired, and do it, because it's so simple to solve the problems if you have passion and if you want. Innovation is not a very big word or something like that. You see common people doing so many things. I can share so many examples. My journey of 7,000 kilometers I walked in the villages. Every village surprised me, pleasantly surprised me. Amazing innovation. And that you get to know only when you talk to them, listen to them, call them, facilitate them, and also take up for engineering their things in any field. If you are in a government laboratory, don't start from scratch. Start from what already is there and build upon it better and better. Give back to them with affordable excellence. That way, I think we can shorten the development path, even make the development cheaper too. So this is my last slide. I would like to close in by telling a small story, my dear friends. I hope my Palace is in a journey of grassroots innovations. In the time available, I could explain to you through more of videos, more of innovations by the people, not by us. We only scouted and presented to you. Now, there was a king about 120 years back. He asked his minister, and you know, that time most of the villages depend on the forest. There's hardly anything going on in the villages. So he used to go to forest, and forest produce, they used to bring various produce, and that is to sell or use, and that's the way the livelihood was there. And that were the times. So they has to go with the empty baskets and come back filled baskets, heavy baskets. Now, when a heavy basket is there, you cannot put it down and put it up again. So what they used to do is they used to walk all the way to the villages. On the way back, there were no rest. They were taking it with the loads. King was unhappy. So he wanted to make his people a bit happier. So he constructed pedestals on the way. Pedestal you can see on the picture, one there at the corner. And by doing so, these people, his subjects, could take rest and move on. So he created some happiness to them. So what the king did is, if you cannot remove a problem, reduce the pain. My dear friends, we all have the ability to reduce the pain, but all of us don't have the ability to remove the problem. Problem may not be removed in our time if you wait for it. So please observe the pains around us, the way grassroots innovators do. Observe the pains around. Even your pain or wife's pain, son's pain, somebody's neighbor's pain. And see, you can reduce 10%. I'm sure all of us are able to reduce some percentage provided to make an effort. And that's the way we all reduce the pain of the society and make it happier. You call it innovation, you call it creativity, you call it entrepreneurship, jargons, I leave it aside. But the basic activity is reduce the pain by observing the problems and solve them. We can do it. I hope we can do it, and that's all. We wish you all the best, Palace Yojana from team, and thanks so much for the opportunity. My email is there, and the website is there. You can call me, talk to me. I'll be very, very pleased to give you time and talk to as much as possible. You can share anything. Thank you very much. Even my thanks to Ravi of Professor Ravi of MG University, who has contacted me for this lecture.
So thank you so much, sir, on behalf of University of Mahatma Gandhi University.
Thank you, sir, for such an informative and interesting presentation. Well, rural people inherit such knowledge of tradition, practices, and ways of living. Although knowledge is available at several locations, identification, acquisition, and dissemination of knowledge to those who need it is a very challenging task. Such knowledge is not documented, will be lost. It is important for us to leverage this knowledge and creativity, which enhance the comfort in livelihood practices for silent growth. The appropriate and affordable solution thus available from the grassroots level should be scouted, value added, and disseminated on the continuous basis and across the country by ensuring recognition and share the monetary profit to the knowledge community. I again thank you, sir, for sharing such innovative information with us.
Question? You have any questions, or we close the session?
Sir, I have a question. So just wanted to,
Yes, please.
I hope I'm audible.
Very much. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So just wanted to know, do we have a single platform where I can connect with any of the innovator, or where anyone can search for any of those innovators which you have already shown in your slides?
Yeah, National Innovation Foundation, NIF.org, it's a part of Department of Science and Technology. They, at the national level, they do all this. They have a database of innovations for the whole country, but they're restricted to some which have been awarded with the President of India, right? But if you talk to them, perhaps they will give you.
Yes, sir.
And we have at Palisudna.org, we have whatever we have done in this part of the country, which may not be there in the national portal, will be available in our portals. But there's no single portal so far which covers everything, right? I don't think it's not required, because local customization of the innovations is important. They make it for local requirement. So as much you can replicate it also different way, but little bit tweaking them, they can replicate it. So instead of creating a national portal, we can have local portals, regional portals, and of course, linking data may not be a problem. You can contact them or me. I will connect you to National Innovation Foundation.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Yeah. Anybody else? I hope you enjoyed session.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're audible.
Sir,
Please
I
go
don't
ahead.
have any question, but am I audible, sir? Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing the innovative information with us, and it's an amazing and excellent session, sir.
Thank you. We must thank the
Thank you so
innovators.
much.
Right. Thank you.
But you share the information, sir. That's the great what the participation of yours, like as a mediator between those green root innovators and us, who really we didn't know about all these people. So you are the person who is bringing up them, actually, that I would say, to us.
Now you are one of.
Thank you,
You are
sir.
one of us now. Now you are one of us. Continue the job.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Okay.